Hello everybody and welcome to another knockoff review. In today's video I'm taking a look at officially the first offering from Blue Circus, but it's actually their second release. This is of course the Blue Circus Truck Commander BC-01, their oversized version of the MPM-04 Optimus Prime. Love the clown logo. Quick look around the box, we've got Prime. And on the back we've just got a warning sign. They've kept the packaging very simple and straightforward. It's quite a light piece as well to save on shipping. Before we take a look at Prime, let's take a look at his accessories. We have his blaster, nicely done there. He comes with two of his energon blades, pretty much as we would expect, nothing out of the ordinary there. Loose in the box, in a baggie, I got two of these energon hooks, which is a very welcome thing, and we also get a die-cast Matrix, or the Allspark. It's marked as Matrix of Leadership on the instructions, so there we go. He comes in a big plastic clamshell, and if you look, the reason he's not in there at the moment is because I want to show you this. Look, that is blue paint on the inside of the clamshell, and we get a little bit of red paint down by the feet there as well, which says to me that he was put in there and his paint was still damp. And here we have him fully kitted up. I don't think the photos online really do him justice. He's a really good looking figure. They make it look like he's not really painted, but he is. He's got kind of a charcoaly coat to him. It's nice though. It's a very kind of vibrant colour, but it definitely works. I actually think it's one of the better paint schemes. I know we've got the gorgeous Black Mamba version out there with all that chromy goodness, all that really nice silver paint applications, but sometimes it's nice to kind of strip back that and go back to basics, and I think Blue Circus have done that. It's kind of that matte looking colour with some highlights where needed. We've got some sprayed up sections. The details aren't kind of overly drawn out with paint applications, but at the same time they're not being lost. It's nice to have those energon blades as well as the hooks, and it's a really good scale. I was pleasantly surprised with how well he scales, especially with the likes of the Weijiang M01. Taking a closer look, I'm hoping that you can kind of see the paint apps there. Not everything's painted, like the crotch there, it's a big solid lump, and some of these sections here aren't painted up, but there are some paint applications there, and there's enough to kind of draw everything out. Love the face sculpt, really vibrant, piercing eyes there. Now, same goes for the head that we've pretty much come to expect, albeit it's incredibly stiff on this version, but we can just bring that all the way back up and rotate that around and bring that back down. As standard, he comes with his maskless face on, but personally I really like a mask on my Prime. My light section here is a little bit loose. These are die cast, I believe, and my pin is a little bit loose on there, but I believe this was a pre-production that got sent to TF Direct, so fingers crossed. These are now hitting stores and being dispatched, so fingers crossed that's something that's been rectified. It's only a very small nitpick. The head can move nicely left and right, lift it up just slightly to get full range on there. We can go all the way up as previously seen, but we can't look down or tilt side to side. Shoulders and everything hold in really nicely. Got really good ratchets on there, come out to the side on a nice friction joint. We've got not one but two bends on the elbow, as well as an upper bicep rotation, and pretty much like the MPM-04, the wrist can tilt. We have the blade ability to slide into the sides, and we have a trigger finger with an additional point of articulation, the rest all being pinned, and the thumb having an up and down motion. Waist, unfortunately, is that one fixed unit, but the legs can come all the way forwards, all the way back. Sideward motion is somewhat limited. You have to kind of push that joint up or bring the legs further down on this sliding joint. We get an upper knee rotation there. We get a nice double joint on that knee. We get nice rubber tires as well. Lots of nice motion going on there, and the feet up and down really nicely. Bit of a squeak there. We do get a very welcome tilt as well. Really good mix of articulation, nice tight joints, and very posable design, thanks to Takara. This really works, gives him a very kind of dynamic look, and he does look fantastic in his poses. We do have some die cast on those knee pads, so you expect maybe a little bit of rub on the paint there. I can't physically see any paint that's come off the figure, yeah, with regards to that wet paint on the box, but that's a really vibrant color scheme, very bold, and in my opinion pretty darn close to what we saw in the first movie. And as a bonus, I think he looks really good alongside the Human Alliance figures. Now, standing at around 30 to 31 centimeters, he's a little bit shorter than the Black Mamba version, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's still a pretty darn big figure, and as much as I hate to admit it, because I absolutely love the Black Mamba version, I think he actually scales better. For the likes of the M01, it's just a really good size. Oh man, I'm torn. And here we have him alongside the Legendary Toys version, which is of course repainted version of the MPM-04. So you can see they've upscaled it, I'd say probably 1.5 times. The paint applications are incredibly different, but that being said, the blue that they've used on this version is nigh on perfect. It is a beautiful blue. I like what the likes of Legendary Toys and Black Mamba have done, giving it that kind of dark blue. I may have to go back and check, but I'm pretty sure all that kind of vibrant blue the Blue Circus have used. Oh, he's a very photogenic figure, isn't he? To insert said matrix, make sure that your window sections are out of the way. Open up this chest piece that allows this section here to come down. There we go. Do you like the sound effects? And then we've got this piece here, which is where the matrix gets housed in 2 separate segments, and then I put that in there so I don't lose it, because I am absolutely terrible at losing these sort of things. So we just lock that section up. There we go, and then bring this piece up. We can slide these back in and tab those in securely, like so, and bring the windows back in. Oh, this is getting looser. Oh no. How do I tighten a pin? Can I tighten a pin? I have no idea. I'm sure somebody out there knows though, but oh, such a good looking figure. These reviews do tend to drag on somewhat if I include the transformation, so I will skip said transformation, but I will include a link just up on this information bar here to the transformation of the previous versions of this mold, just so you can go step by step. But for now, let's take a look at his vehicle mode. And here we have him transformed up into his truck mode. Transformation was actually very straightforward. Everything tabbed in where it's meant to. The front section here looks absolutely superb, all tabbed in, and that blue is gorgeous. My only gripe about this figure is my matrix chamber doesn't have a pin in it, as I discovered, and transforming it, the matrix chamber itself is actually now loose in there, and I cannot be bothered to transform it all back just to find a pin to fit that matrix chamber. But everything it does tab in. I just haven't quite pushed it in fully, and those lights are now a lot tighter, and we've got these wheel sections. Yeah, huge fan of what they've accomplished there. Everything holds together remarkably well. Weakest point is probably these wheel tabs underneath. They do tend to just pop out of that groove, but everything tidies up nicely. Again, no, we don't have this yellow going across the bonnet, but I believe the reason behind them not doing this across the bonnet is because obviously this would then change the robot mode if they incorporate the yellow within this chest section. Give you a quick idea of how he scales. Here he is alongside the Wei Zhang version of the Studio Series Prime. Very, very similar sort of size, although the Blue Circus version is slightly longer and again bigger than the original movie leader class toy and absolutely dwarfing the MP10. Here he is alongside the Blue Circus Bumblebee, the figure that I didn't know that I needed until I got it. Human Alliance size Bumblebee. And here he is alongside some of the other Human Alliance figures, and personally I think the Human Alliance figures work really well with him, and apparently so does my dog. He's come to investigate. But yeah, I think these work really, really nicely. I think I need to go out and get the leader class Ironhide. I know they're releasing an MPM Ironhide, and there's already a Studio Series, or do I wait for that to be oversized? Thoughts are always welcome, but personally, yeah, I think that works well. Now, much like the original version of this mold, the weapons can be mounted on the back, albeit it looks a little bit silly. And although the MPP-10 trailer hitch, the fifth wheel does kind of line up and looks to be the right size, I cannot for the life of me get that to link up and tab in, which is a shame, but that's a very small price to pay for a very gorgeous looking version of Optimus Prime. Blue Circle, you have actually surprised me as the second figure that you've done that I didn't know I needed. If you're an Optimus Prime fan, this is a must, and although it's lacking the elegant details that the Black Mamba version delivers, with this, the Wei Zhang and the Black Mamba version, we are being spoilt for Optimus Primes. If you're a Prime collector, you should rejoice. Until next time, from myself and Blue Circus BC-01 Truck Commander, goodbye.